Exotic stood under the flickering streetlight, her hoodie pulled low over her face. The city was quiet in that moment, almost too quiet. At 23, she had lived through more than most people do in a lifetime. Abandonment, addiction, exploitation, but she still had something many around her had lost, the will to fight. She had been through 5 group homes before she turned 10. By 13, she'd run from her last placement, convinced that life on the streets couldn't be worse than the cruelty of state care. She was wrong, but by the time she realized that, it was too late. The streets had swallowed her whole. Her first pimp was almost kind. He bought her clothes, food. He told her she was beautiful. And then, he tattooed his name on her neck and beat her the first night she came home without enough money. That was the first of many, each worse than the last. What no one knew was that Exotic kept a journal, just scraps of napkins and crumpled receipts stuffed into a Ziploc in her backpack. It was how she remembered who she had once been and who she still hoped to become. Suspense crept into her story, like the men who loomed from parked cars. There were nights she disappeared, kidnapped by a client, locked in motel rooms. One night she escaped by jumping out of a moving vehicle on the freeway. That scar on her thigh was the price of freedom that night. But you know, the most dangerous moments weren't always on the street. They were in the silences. The memories of her brother, overdosed in an alley. The memory of being 15 and pregnant, crying in a clinic bathroom, just too scared to ask for help. Still, she held on to something. A stranger had once given her $100 and told her, "This isn't for tonight. This is to get out." She never spent it. That bill stayed in her shoe, wrapped in duct tape. Now, after years of pain, Exotic was planning her escape. Not just from the streets, but from the person the streets had made her.